moving forward at breakneck speed. Everything you wanted to know about decimals, the dictator asked. We got adding and subtracting. We've got multiplying. And we got dividing. Yes, that which would have taken us 6 months last year, we condensed down into about 6 minutes. When you add and subtract decimals, Carol Winkleman, the phrase that pays is, what do you do with the decimals? When you add and subtract decimals, what do you do with the decimals? Brianna? Exactly, line them up. That is your key there. An example of that would simply be this. If you have 7.5 plus 12.75, it doesn't matter which way you write these problems, but when you write them out, the decimal point has to be lined up. So 7.5 would get put like this. Feel free to always add zeros at the end if you'd like. It's not a necessity, but those decimals get lined up. And then in your answer, that decimal gets lined up as well. And you just add like usual. Again, this is not rocket science. We did it last year. It should not be something that you should struggle necessarily with. If a number doesn't have a decimal in it, where does it go? Beginning, end, or middle? Brooklyn? So if you see a problem like this, 6 minus 2.9, the decimal in 6 goes after the 6. 6.0 minus 2.9. Decimals get lined up. In the answer, the decimal will go there. You might have to borrow blah, 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 blah. 5 minus 2, 3.1, which only makes sense. Think in terms of money. When you multiply, did I do it wrong? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, 20. Every now and then I struggle with addition and subtraction. I thought I was wrong once, but I was wrong. When you do multiplication, the phrase that is going to pay is to do what, Manny Marco? You need to count decimal places. You don't need to line them up. Sometimes they might, but you don't need to line them up. And I'll give you a good example of this. If you multiply 0.5 times 0.5, a lot of times I get people telling me that the answer to that is 2.5 or whatever it is, and it's not. Because it doesn't matter where these decimals, when you multiply them, how they line up. You multiply like there's no decimal. 25 is going to be in your answer somewhere. The question is, where does the decimal go? And the way you figure that out is, you look at how many digits are to the right of the decimal in both numbers. This has 1 digit to the right. This one has 1 digit to the right. That's a grand total of 2 total digits to the right, and that's how many digits need to be right of the decimal in your answer. So the best way to figure that out is start at the right and come back that number of places. 1, 2. The answer is 0.25. 3.6 times 0.008. Did I do that one wrong? I didn't do that wrong, did I? 3.6 times 0.008, maybe I'll do that over here. Or maybe I'll blow this up, or maybe I'll see if I can go down. Oh, I have this spot. Let's give ourselves a little more room. If you're doing this problem here, 3.6 times 0.008, notice they don't line up, they don't have to. I'm just going to multiply 36 times 8. What's that, 48 carried to 424. 288 is in my answer. Where is the decimal going to go? Jenna Durvis. How many total decimal places do I have here? 4. So I have to start here, come back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh, why am I out of spots here? What am I going to do? Jenna? Add a 0 there, right? 1, 2, 3, add a 0 decimal point. There is your answer. 288 10,000ths. Everybody's relatively happy with that? And then last but not least, we have division of decimals. Probably should make this a little smaller. What's the rule with decimals when you divide them? There's actually a couple of different ones you have to watch out for, but basically the rule is, Elijah, to bring up the decimal. Bringing up the decimal. Train up a decimal in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. Now you have to be careful with decimals, people, because with decimals, you know, you can divide anything into anything. You're used to dividing bigger numbers into smaller numbers, or smaller numbers into bigger numbers, whatever it goes. If you see a problem that looks like this, 3 divided by 0.06, you have to know how to write that as a division problem. Which number goes under the box and which number goes on the outside? And this is where I see so many people go wrong. Because you can do the division problem either way. I can take 3 into that, or I can take 6 into 3. It doesn't, you know, it can, either way can be done, but there's only one way that this is written, and it is written how, Elijah?
With 3 inside the box.
Right. When you write this out as a division problem, these things actually switch places. The 3 gets stuck down here. The 0.06 gets stuck over there. It is 3 divided by 0.06. 3 divided by 0.06. Now here is, what do I do with this problem here? First of all, there is no decimal in 3, so I'm going to put one in there. It goes at the end to start with. I have to do what, Isabel? Right. You are not allowed to have a decimal in your divisor. Okay, so you are going to take it and move it all the way to the right, so there's no decimal there. It becomes a 6. But you can't just do the problem there because you changed one of them. You also have to do the same thing to the 3 that you did out here, which means you have to move it 2 places to the right. Add those zeros. The decimal is now right there. And then the rule for decimals is you bring it up. So in your answer, the decimal goes right there. And then you do the math. This problem changed from 3 divided by 600ths into 300 divided by 6, which is the same, going to give you the same answer. 6 goes into 35 times. So bring it down, you get 0. You get 50 for your answer. 3 divided by 600ths. How about this one? I'm going to give you a chance to do this one. 2.4 divided by 0.5. 2.4 divided by 0.5. Get me an answer to that, will you please? Let's see if we're on this. And this is math from a few generations ago, so you should be well versed in this whole analogy. Divide that now. Divide it now? You just didn't want to criticize me, did you, Keith? And Jaden Shoot got 4.8. Everybody else get 4.8? Let's look at it. They switch spots. 0.5 goes out here. Inside goes 2.4. Move the decimal one place, move the decimal one place, bring it straight up from there. It's like 5 into 24. 5 goes into 24 4 times. That ends up being 20. Subtract. No remainders ever with decimals, so you keep adding zeros till it works out. 5 goes into 48 times 4.8 4x. Stop me there if that's confusing you. Now, just some cases to be aware of, children. What if you see this? 0.2 in parentheses squared. Of course you would write that problem on your paper so you don't have to write the going to work thing. Most people just go, oh, that's so easy, it's 0.4, which I say, oh, no, it's not 0.4. Grace Christ, what is the answer to that? It is not 0.4. 0.04 is correct, because you're going to take 0.2 and multiply it by 0.2. Yes, you get a 4, but there are 2 decimal places, so you come back 2 places. It's 0.04. Correct. And also, this is another one. How about this? The square root of 0.09. Remember what you're asking yourself, that's not a division problem. You're asking yourself what number times itself will give you 0.09. Which I'm guessing because there's a 9 there, it has to be a 3, but 3 doesn't. 3 times 3 certainly isn't 0.09, but Brianna, yeah, 0.3 would be. Because if you multiply 0.3 times 0.3, that's 2 decimal places. Gives you the 2 things there. If math was easy, everybody would do it. Hold it, wait a minute. And then I guess we should talk about this too. One of the rare things that I'll say, yes, you should be able to do this mentally and not show any work, is when you multiply or divide decimals by hundreds, thousands, 10 millions, whatever it is. You should be able to tell me the answer to that without sitting out and doing the multiplication problem. Why, Keith?
Because you can just move the decimal.
Exactly. If it's multiplication, however many zeros or however many places the decimal gets moved. I move it 2 places because there's 2 zeros. The answer to this is 625, and that is all you really need to show. Yes, it's good to write that out, but you don't have to sit down and do the 100 blah, blah, blah. With division, how is division different? If it's 6.25 divided by 100, you still move the decimal 2 places, Seppelini. Yeah, you make it smaller, which only makes sense because when you divide things get smaller. So this comes 2 places backwards. So it's 0.0625. And we shouldn't have to do the whole division problem.